Nimain kailana yo. Mon nan matulaw yawita. Nan imulan muy kayo. Olre man parator tonpe. Sota mawewe ki yawasame. Rakosangya. Atanaman olsiba aman olsiba. Ira leleto tonpe ira leler sakoes. Ira koto o kamalti wasaw. O pilmiya na iraramas irawa koto. Dahil kamalti wasakis nilikin sakoes matan kipal. Wasakso. Dahil kokosan ekiswaray. Ansaw siya tete yawaray. Ira kata-kata kokosan wasaw o ira lemata ira ban yata kautak me atanki nansen sab kautakot ime ban kasarawiyala kaulapalap man ban kaunta ton koros tumpantong alat likin nat rail bil kamomo tatakot ya pil tuwata ira sudah tiar sanamawan tatak putanan me atan o ilog rail nampil kasaw tasang wasaw o kasaw talang likin wanik na wewe ki likin rail pil kamomo yer tatakot momoita ipil soto mao sanamawan tatak tirak wasaw rail kasaw lungalang likinan man wasak ismatan ke alokap rail wiatar mumatar pasan ng tatakot wasaw kokosan ikiswaray wasaw olsiba o olsoba rap mamata lang tontol iran kairur sil rap kairur talang saunalang irarik lang ata kani mo yume mi likin saunalang kani mo iso rap ko siya pa na yay wasame atatatok pan kak sanamaw en wasa pan tirok yan sa otro iral pureti o uya kautak wasaw iral kaporaman o kautak wasaw yay makarapan wasawatan kikinan kaporaman iral masalir ko talanger kasaw talangan likin saunalang likin sapo matan kitaman iral tiare sanamawan aral tatak wasaw o yay wasame kani mo iso niniya.
On the island of Pohnpei, in the middle of Micronesia, lies the site of Madol, one of the most impressive megalithic ruins in all the islands of the Pacific Ocean. It was here that the ruling elite lived at the center of a complex religion. Though archaeologists have studied the site for several decades now, most of what is known of the people who once lived here still comes from the stories passed down through the ages. Most notably, the stories recorded by the late Pohnpeian historian Masao Hadley. This video, kept safe over the past 20 years, contains some of the only footage of Masao telling his stories, in his own words, of the worship that once took place at the site of Madol.
I first met Masao in 1973 when I started doing the field work for my dissertation, and slowly developed a personal relationship with him where we would meet occasionally, sometimes just casually, sometimes on an arranged time, and we would speak about the Germans or about Pohnpeian traditions or some other subject that was connected to Pohnpeian history. I felt he was a remarkably bright man with a very unique interest in history, especially his own history. His grandfather, Llewellyn Bernard, was one major source of information, and then from there, he told me that he found anybody who would talk about history. He would find out who knew. He met many people, because his father was non-Marquis of Madol for 36 years. And through the contacts that he had through his family, he became more and more interested in Pohnpeian history, and especially the history of non-Madol.
Mon aral lalir matakan o pantabeta tatakot iral kawata takayu nanset mon kak sansal ikis mor iral kawatar takayot piral na rapaki palipayiwan nanwawa nawawa ki tiarata palimasa palkapi paliair paliapa niasa miral tiaratar palipayiwat iraila kosanitir momon sonen ewe teke pakat pasanetan mapul yay karaban me kasampulan takayot kawaitang rail momon santian aral tatok o ime pilwiyata rasang foundation newe teke ileilan teke kan ileilan khel kan marapanu yata ni ewe teke chorus rale sang ni takayot me kawitang rail atan takayot atan ki peran.
He was so fascinated by these ruins that represented the basis for the power that his own father exercised, for the traditions that he watched in action every day, the payment of tribute, the consulting of high chiefs to resolve disputes, the way power was wielded and the way it was transferred from generation to generation. He wanted to know the basis of all the traditions he saw in action. The yam feasts, the breadfruit feasts, the whole bevy of feasts that accompany all important activities on Pohnpei, including the drinking of sakao, which today is possibly less sacred a ritual than it used to be. But the foundation was laid at non-Madol.
Takayot takain suk sakawan alu o sakawan sapa-sapang anilap. Irail samaraw tikiteng kan rabangin suk sakaw ma o wangit na ninpal o walong ala lole ren samaraw lapalap o ipan sa peta lang anilap.
Suk!
Sakao, or kava, as it is known on other islands across the Pacific, is a member of the pepper family and is scientifically known as Piper methysticum. It is not alcohol. Instead, it is its own drug that produces a mild narcotic effect that relaxes and calms those that drink it. It is said that whoever sits down to drink sakao together will not fight, even if they are enemies. In this way, sakao played an important role in allowing the chiefs of the various villages of an island to be able to sit down together and discuss their problems. It also played an important role in the priest's ability to commune with the spirits. Even today, sakao is present at all important feasts on Pohnpei, of which there are many. The order in which the sakao cup is offered reaffirms the traditional hierarchy, with the first cups going to the highest ranked people. No one knows when exactly sakao was first brought to the island, but it is clear from the many sakao pounding stones at Madol that it was present at that time and played an important role amongst the chiefs and priests who lived there.
things have obviously changed over the centuries, but non-Madol remains the foundation of all of that, kind of like our Constitution. Many of the basic precepts of social interaction and especially traditional interaction grew out of events and practices that occurred at non-Madol long before white contact.
Imagareta nan pare karanyanger pong lapalap so light kan pan kola o kulit we o ato kya naneu tin no we to ta kel o auyawi anson pong lapalap iral pan nya anson me pan lele rano iral samoro kan ban tageta potwar o kola ale amen we wala o tu pata kamakeleta onek kaitan kapatala o kiyang punwar o tanto wasan kautak nianson kautakuet iral samoro na laim sopan ran maka o nankai o nansom iral pukat papan kak kinta ko waro o iral pan kitang way meral kamakele yang erpen wiat kautaku ap nanapas bankin samaro riaman bankin kul way yo kawatapon tinap ap nanapas o way bankin akmarap sang taliyo wasato olelmet ma nanapas ban kin suta kanang ma o marap rabang kesela we selarkak rabang prangale opil purala tu bata we opil ma ekak kanang ma lelmet yang sing rabang lelmet kiang iwasame itegawat matan ki itet iwasame kau taklapelap kin wiawi we ki ye itan pasarawi mal sarawi iwasan nan samol kin kat ya wasa koros net ap iwan ni mun wasa be rangin kot parataya ye wasame akan parataya met usirai retala momal lengar mon tom labala pa mamne or niaso me nalaim pa nalayer puriasay o wato o kapakap o unani bangin tuat lapata pakmangit tipa nalaim mari samaraukan mari nan mariki te south leor mari aramas koros oban kiyang puresay aban pureti o kangala ni sanama mari momo ni sanama o ap koti la lole kamal arwewe ki kautakan nani upar pong lapalap imsaklar ituan.
And Masao was kind of an amateur archaeologist because he didn't have archaeological skills. He was never trained in it, nor was he trained in formal history. But he had the instincts of a natural researcher, and he went to non-Madol to try to find out if there was evidence that would corroborate legends that he was hearing, stories, legends, anecdotes, whatever he heard. He wanted to find out if it was true, and he also wanted to see if he could find out what went on, if he heard that an island had a particular use. He wanted to find out if there was any proof of that, if there were prayers done, was there an altar, if there were fires built there, were there ashes, if there were burials, what would he find if he were to go there? And he did.
Tekawa tatanki kantarak wasaksit ansa naramas mela iral bangin wata wasili wasakan o kamsagla raban wata nin tekawat kantarak iral bangin wanin tarak tuat iral pan wia songkai mapan kolalamau tarak kolalamawi aramasakan me anki melapkat imakareta ma aramasaman pan mela niansa magtal koto nan matul aramas koros nyatal kin kilang tatok kasampal pukat sangon mata toto makapuriamu ita kasampal kin porata renaman ibanikis kawewe tame ikak irapaki o ikis kaktiar angni tatok wata wiyaw naiset tatok pukat wiyaw ita ni momon sarawik kasampale miral katan ki pong lapalap te kau takan nansyon sab ari kau takwat ekin wiyaw yang sangal lapet miral katan ki wiliapan anilap miral katan ki nansamol ari nansamol wewe ki ime anilap ari ekin mamor nansit lapet sotakak mamor nansam iye karapan me tatok kasampalwet wiyawi kita sa nansit takay pukat yawasar kisang ya sansal me wasa tatok lapak wiyawi mas akay takay pukat kinimit tonpoy nan tonpoy wasa koros akay sota sansal sangon tatok lapak me wiyawi mas katira kata me sangon takay pukat kita lap utasang nanpol ari met kamangayala matamataon yawasa takay pukat tira kiya kak kasalayang kital me tonpe pilmiya sangon takay tuwatan yatuan aral wato matamataw kasampal met irapakir tuwan sangon aramas misang mas tiyan aramas pukat esoto waksang kital saw main lolong main palsak table tawli irapakir tina aramas pukat tuwatak tal Mia sangon aramas sakay me kalay mo isang kital piltirak nan mo chairman Israel Mia lolong kay te saw kay mere sarapatar o tiar sangon aramas lapala ti me tin ne pa ko tato lelni langaray all ray men German nanwal sangon tin mga naramas kalay mo isang kital inan ng toto tirakta ari nananso me tatok lapukat wiyawi sangon aramas pukat ikismiya tunbi yay aramas pukat yang wiya tatok pukat.
In one of the graves in Pain Kachel, he found some shell jewelry that is today used for the crowning of the non-marquis. Only occasionally does the non-marquis wear these crowns. One of them is actually a shell Hadley that looks like a crown, and the other is some beads that he formed into a necklace in the manner in which he found it, and it's quite a dramatic piece of jewelry. And when one non-marquis Salvatore was crowned, those pieces were used at the crowning. The crown was placed upon his head, and the necklace was placed around his neck, and it very much looks like crown jewels. And he found these in the burial at Pain Kachel.
While many of the human remains that were once found at Madol have been lost, still today there are artifacts and human bones from the Great Tomb at Nandoas, stored safely at the Smithsonian Archives. An abundance of grave goods was found, including spondylus shell decorations, pearl shell fishing lures, and thousands of shell beads. It is hoped that many of the questions as to who the people were that built Madol and where they came from may one day be answered from the ancient DNA stored in these bones and the relationships of artifacts found in the tombs to those found on other islands far away. For now, all that is known are the stories that say the brothers who built Madol came from far to the west. Those stories also tell how Madol was eventually overthrown when its kings attacked the people's very god, Nan-So-Mal, who escaped to the neighboring island of Koshrai. There, on Koshrai, are ruins that look almost exactly like that at Madol. It was from here that warriors set out and defeated the kings of Madol who had grown evil with power. The power then shifted to Koshrai, where the king continued to live within his megalithic palace until contact with European whalers introduced disease that devastated the population in 1850. All of this Masao told to Paul, who has faithfully recorded it and even today continues to work to publish his stories to a wider audience.
We would sit down and he would tell one part of the tale to me, and we did it basically piece by piece, starting with the building of Madol and then going through stories of various aspects of the building of the ruins, but also individual islets and what they were used for. He recapitulated the Sautelur eras by going through the names of the Sautelurs who were known, and he talked about their accomplishments or their reputations. Then he moved on to the non-Marquis, who followed the beginning of the non-Marquis system after Iso-Kellikel conquered Pohnpei. And he basically spoke about everything he could until he was finished. And one day, he finished one rendition of one aspect of the story, and he said, "That's it. There's no more." Or that's all he was going to tell, at least at that time. And he felt like he had fulfilled his dream. And I felt pretty good about that. It was nice to know that he had finally gotten it all off his chest, so to speak. And he now felt as if, that work, that one real ambition had been fulfilled. It was a pleasure to have been a part of that, and a real privilege. He was a very unique individual, and he very single-minded in his ambition.